Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thank you very much for coming by the channel once again to see some more Captain Tsubasa Dream Team. Here with the homie Nako bringing you finally some content after a long again unplanned, unexpected, unwanted hiatus. But as you see me kind of complain a little bit here and there in every video, it seems like now is just life and the universe and stuff like that, like continuing to like put barriers in front of me and stuff like that don't seem to allow me to not even as the thing is that it's like I wish it was kind of like, okay, slowing down how many videos I'm uploading a week or something like that, but nah, it's been to the point where I haven't uploaded anything like at all, and like what has it been, 2 weeks, almost 3 weeks maybe. And I recall when I last put up the video where I said, let's do the giveaway, blah blah blah. That was the week I ended up getting pretty busy because of it was my daughter's birthday, and so we had to plan for the weekend and all that stuff and all the expenses and all, make sure everybody got the invite and make sure everything was good and blah 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 blah. So if you have children, you'll understand, and if you don't, well, I hope it doesn't sound like I'm talking smack or anything like that, so don't take it personal or anything, okay? But yeah, I don't have them. You don't want kids. But anyway, on the real though. Yeah, my daughter's awesome. Don't get me wrong, she's amazing. So is my son. They're wonderful creatures. And so we wanted to make sure that she had an amazing time. Had to spend some time not really helping my sister, but I just got a couple of things for her. I should have. I wish I had prepared something so I could show off some of all of the pot designs that she did for my daughter, because it was Pokemon themed, and for whatever reason my daughter wanted my sister to, because she's very artsy, dude. My sister can draw like crazy, and so she had those flower pots, right, like a little tiny standard flower pot or whatever. I don't even know what standard is, and she drew Pokemon faces on them, and like really good. They came out really awesome. So that was really cool. I hope I figure out a way to share them. Maybe I wish I could just kind of like throw them on here at post editing, maybe just throw them on here or something like that, but for the sake of time, I don't know that I'll do that. Hopefully maybe to kind of, so you guys can kind of see like, oh look over there's she did like Umbreon, Vaporeon, I think all the Eevee evolutions, stuff like that. So and then the week after, spring break was starting for the district that I'm in, and then so I was supposed to have a week off. They don't pay me for that week, so it's cool, but it sucks because, well, I gotta adjust myself for that week of no pay that I'm gonna have. But the break is nice, except that they offered me 2 days of work for like a few hours, so I was like, okay, better something than nothing. I'm gonna need that money. And then also, well, on the days that I would have had free time, well, my kids were still in school, so I had to go pick them up and stuff like that, and so I was still a little busy, so I couldn't make time to record. And then after that, before I had to do all that for my kids, I was fortunate because as much as I might complain about the universe like not allowing me to record and stuff like that, sometimes I feel stupid for complaining. Sometimes I feel bad, I feel sad about it, just because, well, I mean I'm here, I'm alive, I don't have to worry about a roof over my head, I don't have to well, life isn't perfect, but I'm grateful for a lot of the things that I do have, for just being able to upload this and throw my thoughts into the world and allow me to vent a little bit and say stuff like that. I'm very fortunate. So that's why sometimes I'm conflicted with myself, because I get a little upset about like things that I probably shouldn't get upset about. Like I said, not being able to find the time to be able to record and upload and something, is because it's something that I really like to do, and just not being able to do so kind of just, well, it gets to me, you know what I mean? But at the same time, like I said, I know that there's a lot of people around the world that wishes that they could have the type of things that I'm getting upset about as their primary source of it's hard out there, And so that's why sometimes I feel bad getting upset about these little things, you know. And like, it's crazy because I don't think that my friend would watch this, but a friend of mine from elementary school reached out to me recently. Turns out his birthday is the day after my daughter's. It was just coincidental, you know, and I was tripping out that he just reached out to me like out of the blue. I haven't seen this guy in forever. I guess I don't know how to say. Long story short, I went to elementary school with this guy. There used to be, for people that don't know, in the schools in the United States, there was a time where the students were divided into tracks. So there was A track, B track, C track. And so because of that, you got to experience school with certain kids and blah, 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 as opposed to everybody being in at the same time as it is now. So yeah, he was a childhood friend of mine. And then I went to Mexico for like 2-3 years. Came back, and because the track system was still in place and because of the stuff, the way how things were, they placed me in a different track. So I didn't get to see this guy anymore, other than like every now and then, because it would be like A track and C track together. Then one track would go on vacation, then another track, so it would be like A and B, and then on vacation for A and then B and C and so on, right? So when it was A and C, that's when I got to see him again. But you know, things weren't the same. I didn't get to hang out with him or anything. I remember several years later, I ran into him just by chance. This was after high school, and I hadn't talked to him in like forever, you know. And I just remember I went to this show. There's this band that's called, hey, I know I don't normally curse on the channel. Not that I don't normally curse in real life, but I try not to curse in the channel. But for this case, I have to, because that's the name of the band, or at least in this case, let me spell it out. This band is called STRFKR. So you could fill in the vowels, okay? But that band is awesome, is amazing. I love them. They think they're really good. I've seen them live several times, and one of those times, I remember walking away from the venue. I was with my sister, and then I just heard my name all of a sudden, and I was like, what? And I turned around, and these two guys, one of them was this friend of mine that reached out, was with them. And it was like these two guys that I knew from elementary school. And it just tripped me out that not having seen these guys, not having spoken to them really or whatever, randomly, we went to the same show, and they recognized me, and they didn't avoid me, you know? They didn't go like, oh, is it that guy, or who cares, or blah, 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 and just take off. No, they took the time to stop, call out to me, and got to talk to him for a little bit. And then, yeah, you know, it's like the last memory that I have of connecting with these two individuals. And so, yeah, going back to him reaching out to me, this whole, it's just been a trip, because it's been like 20 something days since he reached out to me. And I bring this up. I know none of you guys asked me for any of this, and you know, well, I guess the beauty about YouTube is that, like, you know, you could skip ahead to the actual Subasa stuff. But this is a little therapeutic for me, okay, to just be able to talk about these things. And I guess that's the benefit of doing these recordings as opposed to live, where I could just talk, not worry about what's everybody saying, blah blah blah. Not just, you know, making sure everybody's being monitoring the chat so that nobody's getting crazy, what, you know. So it's different. It's a different feel. It's a different vibe for sure. But anyway, going back to this, because it's like 20 some odd days since he reached out to me. I had responded just telling him happy birthday, and then he responded with yeah, man, you know, it's been a long time, how you been? And it's crazy to me because I've struggled to answer that question. How have you been? It's normally a simple question, one that's probably not even meant to be answered. Normally, you know, like, hey, how are you? Hi, what's up? Hey, what you been up to? Hey, how have you been? You know, it's pretty customary, pretty normal, pretty regular conversation. But I've for years, I've always wondered why do we say that, or why do we ask that if we don't? It's weird. Not necessarily that we don't care, but in a way we don't, right? Sometimes, like, hey, what's up, man? How you been? It's not so much that you don't care how they've been. I'm sure sometimes we ask genuinely, but I mean, like, when you ask a friend, of course, you know, so you do want to know how have you been. but I've been in like work environments or stuff like that where there's other people that, because the restroom is shared by the building or something like that, then you run into people and then you continuously run into them. So, out of courtesy, you just start saying, hey, hello, good afternoon, blah, 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 right? Or at least that's how I was raised. That's how I was taught. But then I would always get a little caught off guard when I would be told like, hey, how you been? Or hi, how are you? And then sometimes I think I would answer purposely like, well, not too good today, or like, I've been better, or something like that. And kind of throws them off guard, kind of like, well, they don't respond, but I've seen sometimes that off guard reaction of kind of like, whoa, what? Like, I'm actually answering your question, bro. You asked me how I've been, and then you just caught me at a time where I wasn't feeling good. And I know you didn't really care. That's not what's in your intention. It's just the general, what's up? So, my friend, if you're watching this, I'm sorry. I doubt that you're watching this, but I'm not avoiding the question on purpose. I've just been looking for the right time to answer it, if that makes any sense. Because at the time that he asked me this question, it was his birthday, and I was a little stressed out, where it had just been my daughter's birthday and just a few things going on afterwards. And I didn't know how to answer that question. I didn't want to be like, oh, good, man, how about you? And then good, blah, blah, blah. So then where does the conversation go? Like, I don't know. It's not necessarily that I'm expecting this guy to genuinely care how I'm doing or how I've been. You get me? And I guess part of me was a little scared to be like, well, it's because life has been this way, blah, 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 and get a whole wall of text over a question that he's probably like, dude, I'm just, my bad, dude. So I've been wrestling with myself a lot, and it's not just not that one thing, but I mean, it's one thing that's remained constant in my mind where I'm just kind of like, I don't want him to feel like I don't care, or that I don't want to respond. I just overthink things sometimes, and I don't want to I don't know. I didn't want to be like nonchalant and not care and be like, oh yeah, I'm good, man. How about you? But at the same time, I don't want to freak him out and be like, hey, well, you know what? Life has been a journey and blah, 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 and blah, 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 blah. Because it's not all full of negativity either. I know that that's probably what I'm projecting the most, and I'm sorry. I had a friend once tell me that I had that gift of turning everything negative, despite what I show on these videos. But the thing is that, I want to be positive. I want to look at the positives. And yeah, I mean, like I said, I started my spring break on a 2-day festival. It's I've been getting into a lot of EDM music, a lot of, so going to be able to be fortunate enough to have a roof over my head and have my meals and plan my next festival or plan my next show or plan my next blah, 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 blah. But at the same time, other realities start hitting in of like, hey, man, you're spending too much money and then gotta be careful and this and that, and blah, blah, blah. So, it's just life, right? But yeah, I can't believe that I'm tripping out so much over such a simple question, But life has been good. And that's probably kind of where I'm trying to get my mind at. Just be like, hey, it's been good. Yeah, there's been some downs, but there's been a lot of ups. Been a lot of cool stuff, a lot of good things that I've been able to experience and will experience is coming up, so it's like life's been good, actually. Life's been good. So I think I know now kind of like how to respond to him, thinking about it that way. I think it was just in that headspace that I was in where it was just kind of like sometimes I let myself just kind of like spiral a little bit. I'm human. I'm 40 now. I'm getting older, and you think about this and that and blah blah blah, and sometimes I just don't want to think, but I end up overthinking and blah blah blah. And even this part right here, finally getting the opportunity, complaining about all this, I don't have time to record, and here I am looking at the timer, 15 minutes in, dude, just talking about life, not even talking about Subasa. And I still want to make time to finally give away those accounts and finally get them out of my hands and finally do this and blah blah blah. But here I am. Well, Normally I probably would have called it wasting time, and I'm sorry if it felt like to you like if I wasted some of your time, but it is kind of beneficial and helpful to me to just be able to throw these things out there into the world, whether it's anybody hears it or not or whatever. It feels nice to let it out. So I am thankful to all of you for allowing me this avenue, for allowing me this space. I mean, if you heard me out, awesome. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. To the homie, in case he happened to catch this, my bad. I'll get back to you soon. And then to everybody that's been patient and just, thank you guys so much for your encouraging words and everything. I do read the comments, and like I said, you see, like, my bad that I don't respond. It's just that it's like a constant battle in my head every day with stuff. You know what I mean? It's just, life is hard, dude. And so, I want to work on that too, on increasing my responsiveness with you guys on the messages and stuff like that, and the comments that you guys leave me. And I don't want to leave friends like this one hanging for too long before I respond. But just know, even though I do it on purpose, it's not with bad intentions. It's just because, if I'm not, even for this recording, I finally had the time, but I wasn't sure if I was feeling the energy to do it. But I got some stuff done. I set up my equipment. I'm ready to go. I got to let some of that out, so I feel really good now. So let's get to it. Time for some Subasa, because I also want to make time to watch the episode later. I'm watching the anime. Right now it's to the point where it's the ending of the France versus Japan game. So I'm looking forward to catching that and then see where it goes from here. All right. Maybe I'll put in the comments 17. Skip forward to 17 minutes. So if you just started and you skipped over here, then that means I remembered to put in the comments. If you want to avoid all the life ramblings and want to get straight to Tsubasa, just go straight to 17 minutes or so. And yeah, here we go. Now, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. I see that some of you guys have still subscribed to my channel, even though I haven't been putting up content. Oh, you guys make me so happy, dude. You guys don't even know. It's crazy, man. It's crazy. They're little things. They're little things, but there's a lot of things in life to be celebrated. A lot of little things, a lot of big things. So let's go. 10 Dream Balls is all we get. And I got 816. However, a lot of it is because I still have a lot of those paid Dream Balls, because they haven't really released anything that has made it worth me using up my paid Dream Balls. So I got so many. We'll see. All right, so obviously I missed out on the Super Dream Collection that came out of nowhere, which was weird. Now we have a Super Dream Festival that's also weird, because we're at midway to reach the anniversary. Remember, April 1st, 2024, June. That means we have 2 whole months of saving up, if that's what you're gonna do. But don't fret. Even though it's been so strange that a lot of the transfers that they've been releasing have been 9 steps for whatever reason, they've continuously brought out good banners and extended them in terms of the Dream Collection and the Dream Festival, and have also added in, get a free SSR here, free SSR there. Right now they have free SSR like the Super, right? Free SSR plus a free pool and stuff like that. So they made it manageable and more easy to build up a team based off of limited collections, in terms of limited transfers, I should say, not limited collections, because these are like limited collections. You're not gonna get them in any other way ever, in any other transfer ever, other than this specific transfer. Meanwhile, all the Dream Festival characters, all the cards, Dream Collection cards, all the time, every time Dream Festival and every time Dream Collection comes around, you get a chance to get them. Even if they're not featured, they're still in the pool. But these are never in any other pool, so this is your only way to get them. So by the time I upload this, you probably already pulled here. They brought back the refresh here from the last anniversary, the Japanese banner right here. There's a couple more that they had to get Tsubasa and stuff like that, but that already ended. I missed out on doing an analysis for Akai. I missed out on Matsuyama, which I was pretty upset about, because they had recently done the rework on the Blue Club Matsuyama, and then so you spend some ability limit release materials on these cards only for them to bring in a stronger Matsuyama. So now what, man? you're making me waste my resources on some cards, but then you bring a stronger version. So like, how am I supposed to ability limit release them now? You know, I mean, I had a way of doing it on my Matsuyama to at least BB6 if I wanted to. You know, I'll put on the hopefully I add on the pull results that I did off camera. I recorded on my phone, the screen recording, to hopefully show you how much I pulled. And then yeah, you know, like Margus, even if I wanted to pull right here, I don't think I have the materials to bring him up. I don't have the materials to bring them up. And that's one of the things that I think you have to keep in mind when you're pulling on these, particularly if your account is a little bit older. For the newer accounts, it really doesn't matter. You're most likely not going to have enough ability limit release materials to use it on these current cards. So pull wherever you feel is needed. But for, like, let's say somebody like me, well, right now, honestly, I'm itching to pull on something. I'm itching to pull on something because there's so many things here, and some things I want. Maybe I want this guy, but I don't know that I necessarily need him. But at the same time, I do, because I think I need more red players. And this one's only 6 steps as opposed to 9. So let's do a quick review. Okay, we'll start here. So the thing with this Isawa is that he's still relatively okay here. This is still pretty good. At 19 and 18, 17 and 18, you're going to have Thoram and what's his face, Gentile, that are a lot stronger still. However, depending on what you got available, like right now, these are my top 3 defenders, right? And Soda, even though he's relatively good, especially on the sideline, well, right here, I still don't like that they did this. I prefer that when you pressed on the graph here, that you would be able to pick. Let me see. Nah. I would have loved it instead if they kept it the way that they had it before, so that you could freely compare them to other cards. This I hate. I do not like it. I despise it. Yeah. No. Decline. Spam risk, homie. Which reminds me. I messed up my sound. I hate it when it does that. Hold on. Boo! Not only did I mess up my sound, but when I was trying to fix it, the game closed all of a sudden. So here we are, back to where we were. Okay, so Isawa. So let me check it out. Let me check it out. Because he was at like 19,000, whatever. But now this thinking graph only allows you to compare it to cards you have on your in one of your team makeups. Not that you have in your possession, but one of your team makeups. And what I don't like about that is that he what's it called? That it compares them to what you currently have them at. So like my Gentile, I have them at BB6. Well, that doesn't give me a good comparison of what they are at. You see, like right here, I have right here, mine is at BB6, this one's BB6, this one's BB6 as well. I want to know what the raw numbers are like. See, so Izawa is roughly around there, 19, 16 and 16. Okay, Izawa is actually higher right here. Oh. So you can look, if we do this, that's the Gentile that you get, that's my Gentile. So it doesn't give you a true comparison. You see that? Just because I have the addition, the increase in stats, because I used ability limit release. But let's see, he's a much better blocker for sure. But right here, wow, I'm surprised. 16, 16, 16, and then 19, 19, and then only 14 and 14 in terms of offense when it comes to passing and dribbling. So let's see. Okay, so you see Gentile was roughly the same. It's just that his block was much higher, and this guy's actually higher than Gentile. Is at 16, 16, 16, and Gentile was at 14 and 14. So Isawa is not bad and is still usable. Yeah, his block leaves a little bit to be desired, but I mean, he gets this increase right here at 30%. So that'll probably bring him to like about where what's his face is at, Gentile. You know what I mean? And he has auto block and auto intercept. So yeah, since I'm itching to pull on something and I need a red player, this is the one I'm gonna pull on, of course, before it ends. This guy, if you get the thing that sucks about this one is that he's basically the main one that's worth it. He's the main one that's worth it because this guy, I guess that could be useful. But what I really need is a red defender. I need a red defender, not necessarily to replace the Soda, maybe to complement him, maybe to replace my Couts, if anything. And it's funny because when I pulled for Salinas, I was hoping for Couts along the way, and I got him like towards the very end. And now I'm kind of like probably gonna bring him out because he's not as strong as he was. This is still, I guess, somewhat acceptable because this is so high. Plus 10 only. So his best thing will be that Inside Master and this, but no auto intercept. So you're gonna have to put that into your team skills to give yourself something. This Aoi is not useful at all. That tackle won't do anything. Dribble, nothing. When he first came out, he was alright. He was usable-ish, acceptable-ish, in case you needed an Aoi for the Dreamfest with Tsubasa that required the Aoi for the shot. But now that that's not really a thing, this is terrible. The only thing he has going for it is a stamina killer and follow, so that you could proceed to do damage with stamina killer. But I hate that he has them with fiery potential to get stronger, but with the stamina cost down. Whack. Okay, so I'm dreading it here because I might not get Isawa and I might get stuck with something completely and totally useless. Now here, a lot of people seem to be pulling on here for Margus. He's alright right here at 18 and 18, but his full body stand, the fact that he has penalty area shooter, and the fact that he has full body stand at 20%, okay, makes him pretty good. He should be able to score on Mueller, score on what's his face, Ken, but he'll definitely struggle to score against Salinas. I don't think it's possible for him to score on Salinas because of the type disadvantage from the color and the additional boost that Salinas gets against players that have full body stand. So he definitely has a lot going against him. So he's mostly a shooter. He's not really good defensively. He's alright with dribble and pass. However, when you have full body stand, you kind of don't want to use too many skills so that you could get the best and highest possible shot attempt. So it's kind of difficult to have him use something like teamwork combo or dramatic dribble and then expect his shot to still be what you would hope it is. So you're definitely going to need somebody to complement and get the ball to him. I remember I lamented not being able to pull on this banner when it first came out because I wanted to pull for this Schneider right here. I felt that he wasn't that bad, but people are saying that supposedly he's not even as good as this guy and that he's not capable of scoring on Salinas at all. Despite having this extra 10% here, but what I wanted him mostly for was this, honestly. I wanted him for the 40% to stamina killer and what else? For the, I guess for the volley, if I ever need it in the future, right? And then the Chester, the problem with the Chester is that he's not necessarily bad, but he's not good. He's not great. You're gonna need him in the mid area to get the most out of it because you see right here, his dribble and pass isn't that good. And then the fact that there is a gacha version available that is miles above, way better than this card is, it makes it very difficult to recommend this one. Even with the Inside Master and having the hotline, it's difficult to find a spot for this Chester to be effective, considering the units that are available now. So if you're pulling here, you're pulling for Margus, good luck. Here, now this is what I'm talking about. We go to the 9-step banners, right? The only reason why you're going to pull on these is if you pull for Levin and you get them early. That's it. That's their primary purpose. When they first came out, it was questionable to me because I was like, okay, you give him a decent shot stat. I hate that. A power stat. I hate that. He's a good shooter, but at least they make him good defensively. Tackle and intercept. Speed and technique kind of offset a little bit. The pass and dribble, okay, not too bad for a defender. A lot better than that Robinson. I'll tell you what, that Robinson DC with the worst pass stat ever for an overpowered defender. Come on, man, fix that, K-Lab. What the heck is that? 6, 7, 8K, something stupid low like that. It's like whack. That's whack. So we got Japanese player killer. Obviously, nobody's gonna really be using Genzo as much for you to just shoot from far away and have this guy be your spammer. Yeah, he has long shooter, whoop-de-whoop. And it's on a matchup only? Matchup only. So you can't just shoot and expect to get the long shooter to activate. 60%. Remember I told you if they're not Japanese, it's very rare that you're going to see auto block and or auto intercept at higher than 60%. It's just not going to happen. It's always only 60% or less. I swear. I don't know why. 15%. Okay, yeah, stamina killer. All right. And then, but that's the prize right here. Swedish pairs plus 2%. That and the auto block and the auto intercept and the stamina killer save him. I hate that. You see he has a block as his primary skill, but the block stat is ridiculously low. Granted, he has some power right here, but I'm pretty sure the power was mostly to complement his shot, and that's probably why they brought the block so low. I don't like that. He's primarily a blocker, but you don't make him primarily a blocker. What's up with that? I don't like that. Okay, now we have Federiks. Interesting as well, because he's actually not bad as a playmaker here, not bad defensively. He's pretty good physically. Right here, how many do you need? Max 2. Okay, for 20%. Should be relatively easy. So it's just him and a partner. Him and a Swedish partner, and you're good. Remember, the self counts. So him on the field counts as one Swedish pair. You add in one more, that's 2. It counts. Okay. 550 for his shot. He can shoot from far away. He has stamina killer as well. 20%. Dribble range enhance. Okay. This is kind of nice to have. And this is the prize if you have Levin. Wow, 3%. Okay. So pretty much you're putting here to get 5%. But again, it's 9 freaking steps, bro. 9. That's 470 dream balls, right? Because it's 30 and 40, and then everything else is what? The same? Oh, I'm tripping out, dude. Because I was always like 9 steps. How the heck are we going to do that, man? That's too many dream balls. Ooh, my bad. You see, initially, damn, and I never checked the info on these. You see how out of touch I am from the game all of a sudden? Like, what the heck? This is, okay. So, 30 and 40, 70 plus 50 is 120. And then 120 again and 120 again. All right, so it's actually 360, which is not too bad. I thought it was 470 or something like that, or 490, something crazy like that. I was like, man, who the heck is going to spend 490 dream balls here? But 370, okay. I mean, you get 3 SSRs along the way. One new one for sure, but at least you get 2 opportunities to get the ones from there. So I guess it's not that bad. So you got to hope to pull 11 early and have enough dream balls to pull here, and then, well, good luck. I did see somebody on a Facebook group page somewhere that they had faith and they got 11 early, and then they pulled on that one. They got both of those without going to 9 steps, and well, 5% to 11. That's nice. Now this next dream one. So I'm assuming it's gonna be the same thing then, right? 30, 40, 30, 40, 30, 40. Okay, that's trippy. Wow. So that's the thing. One of the things that I don't like about this is that look at the skill right here. The skill looks awesome, dude. Check it out. Look. Whoa, psych. Yeah. Here goes Tomala. Here goes the pass. That's a pretty sweet looking skill. And I don't know how much time was spent in development for it, or the thought of it, or the idea, or that's how it is in the manga. No, it can't be in the manga because it's next stream, so it's brand new. Oh, yeah, and I've been sick too. Okay, so, but you're never going to see it, man. No, I don't think anybody's pulling here. If anybody's pulling here, is guess what? Guess why they're pulling here. Guess why they're pulling here, dog. Obviously, he's going to boost up Swedish players too, right? Oh, he doesn't. So you don't have to pull for this guy, but you do in a way. If you don't have Schneider, the only way you're going to be able to do the 1-2 for 11 is to have all these guys, man. That's kind of whack, though. It's kind of whack. So we'll get into that. But look at, check it out. He's pretty cool right here. Not bad. He's all right. All right, because that's amazing. The technique is great. So the pass will be great. So he'll be primarily as a playmaker, right? But they try and fool you into thinking that you could take a shot every now and then. Nah, not with this low power stat. This is already decently low as it is. All the Super Dream Festival and Dream Festival characters or whatever are like 20 to 22,000. Maybe, I think, we'll see. We'll see Napoleon and we'll see Levin right now. 20 to 23,000 to start. Look at that. You see Misaki has 80%. This guy gets 60. Oh, he's a Japanese player too. What? Oh, no, wait. From England. Oh, that's why. Wait, what? Kevin Nakamura. I mean, it's possible if you're pouring it, right? Anyway. Okay. So, the bond is easy, but it's only 7%. They kind of only a few 7.5 players here and there. Okay, this will bring up his stats. That's nice, but not against any kind of not against what's it called, the goalkeeper. So that fake shot stat does nothing for you. You probably want him for that, and then that's cool. But there aren't too many forwards that are club players at the moment to take advantage of this inspiration. The only thing it would do is probably boost up your Gentile if you have them already. Gentile. Excuse me. Okay. But yeah, man, that dribble. I think that's actually the pass stat, isn't it? I mean, I need some water. Been talking too much. A pass skill is not the not the dribble skill. I was not prepared for this. Okay. A little bit of everything. All right. So, this guy's actually not too bad, but nothing that would recommend me say to pull. Not even for this guy. Not even for this guy, but to a certain extent, you kind of have to if you have Levin. If you don't have Schneider, so he could be decent on the penalty. On the sideline, he'll be super fast. So you could get him behind the defense or something. He would be a good setup man. I don't know that I would use him as a shooter. He's not gonna do anything, even though he's at 550. Nah, they're trying to fool you into making him into a shooter, but nah, unless you want to drain stamina. Because I guess even with the 30%, what is that gonna bring you? 30%. Oh wow, it's almost 6,000. So okay, 30%, he'll be at like 25, and power, he'll be at 17. Okay, I guess maybe that 30% increase might give him a chance. And if not, well, you'll drain the stamina. But still, I wouldn't necessarily be pulling for these guys. So I don't know about this banner, man. I don't know. All right, Levin. So we got all these guys right here. This guy, why? There's mentioned that there's going to be some reworks, maybe about 100 of them or something like that. But where are they at? Where are they at? Where's the info on that? What's up with it? Because, what's it called? This guy's terrible. This is a terrible unit. Even when he was released, his stats were suspect. Like, they weren't, it was still kind of like, huh? Why? And now at this point, woo, way worse. Look at that. What the heck are you going to do with 11K shot? Okay, his power is decent. Not, this is barely even reaching. It was high at the time. This is barely reaching what the standard has become. Roughly. Look at that. Technique is terrible. Not even 10K. Tackle and intercept, not taking the ball anybody. Dribble or pass, and you're not going to get the ball anywhere. That 20% isn't going to help you at all with this. It'll bring you up to a maximum of like maybe 14K. This one will bring you up to like about a maximum of 18. So it's not going to be enough to score on anybody. Even though they supposedly wanted to make him a shooter with that. I would love to have access to that technique. But nah, look. 5% catch killer. I guess this is alright to have. 30%. Oh, that's probably the best thing that he has, because that's for all opponents. But still, like, nah, this guy sucks. This is a terrible unit. This guy is still capable scorer, but you see, look at that. So you need this minimum 20 and 17 minimum to still be capable of scoring. But Natureza still needs help. He needs this to be active. He needs like an inspiration or a hotline or something like that to be able to score more effectively. This 5% isn't a huge thing. Okay, so that you can always be guaranteed to do that. Okay, so you're bringing up the tight angle. All right. Look, he has a built-in penalty area shooter right there with that shot. So I wouldn't mind him to complement my Santana, but at the same time, the way I use the very few online games that I managed to find myself playing, I don't think I necessarily need that Santana. I mean, Natureza for Santana. And this guy, I already have him. At full BB8. And then this guy, well, the problem that I have with this Levin. Okay, so you see now, look, 23 and 17. See, I told you the minimum standard was Natureza's at 20. He's like 16, maybe 17 already. So think about a lot of those other guys that are being released that are below this, right? And this guy, he increases himself by 10% as well against the goalkeeper. Yes, I love this. 30% stamina, 1-2 range. That's a problem. Pressure, okay, and that. This is a problem because so that it does not become like a wasted slot, you need yes or yes. Two things. One is you need all 4 of those guys just to be able to pull this one off. Or you need the 1-2 with Schneider, which means you need to have Schneider out on the field, which I have this guy, and he's featured on this transfer, so you could get him, but you still need to get that skill from Dreamfest Unit 11, which I have. I have the skill available. I could use them, but like, you know, I don't know that I want to pull here. I wouldn't want to pull here because I don't need. Well, the Schneider actually I wouldn't mind for the technique. And Natureza I guess I wouldn't mind just because, but that's all gonna depend on whether I get lucky with Isawa or not. So yeah, if you're gonna pull here, you're gonna have to keep those things in mind. All right. The fact that his shot is good, his dribble is great, his pass is great. He's only like mid or like whatever's when it comes to defense, and he's excellent at physical as well. So he's good at moving the ball forward, getting up front, and blah blah blah. But that's if you want to do this. You're not gonna get too far if all you could do is dribble. In that case, you're gonna have to use this guy as a forward. And then remember, this guy only has access to. The other problem I have with this guy is that to try and score on what's his face. I think. Do you need to shoot aerial shots versus Salinas? I don't even remember, dude. Or was that just a Genzo thing? And Mueller, right? No, Mueller has the high balls. Well, anyway, if you wanted volleys or high balls for this guy, they're very rare. The volleys actually from a gacha card, the new Levin volley shot, and then the overhead destructor shot or overhead destructor Levin shot, something like that. It's from an exclusive card that came out for anniversary at one point, and I don't think they have released it in the Dream Ball shop at all. So I don't know. It becomes a little difficult. He becomes a lot less effective if you don't have a way of using that one too. That's all I'm saying. The thing too is that I could use him with Schneider, and even though I hate that they give him a new shot, that's cool or whatever. I don't really care for the animation of this shot. I much prefer the Munich crossfire that he has with Schneider. The animation is amazing. It's great. It's beautiful. And it's such a shame that the 11 that it came with was not usable enough, did not last long enough to be able to take advantage of some of those awesome animations. K-Lab, what's up, man? Like, this animation is like whatever, dude. This is just like the destructive Levin shot or whatever. You just destroyed one guy, and you just basically did what Schneider doesn't want in the double fire shot. Just destroys a guy, okay, and then perfectly lands right in front of me so I could just destroy it again. Whatever, dude. But the Munich crossfire, that one is sick. That one's sick. But like, it gets to me, man. But you have some beautiful, amazing animations, and we don't get to see them as much because you K-Lab, you're doing this. You're not making it practical to use them, dude. You should have made this shot optional, not the main skill. Should have been the second slot. Come on, man. Now you're gonna force me just to use Munich combination. I will have two shots added to this guy. Nah, dude. And if you're gonna say, well, then that's your bad, Naku. All right, well then, why are you wasting all this time on these beautiful animations that we can't see them because we don't get to use them, man? Come on, dude. Come on. Like Captain Tsubasa Ace, the animations are dope and everything, but it's just the gameplay is not the same as it is in your game, K-Lab. You have that, yes, but come on, bro. Come on, man. Come on. Okay. Well, yeah, so I guess let me tell you about the other guys. That's the problem then with like Schneider and these guys, right? Schneider's still usable, but look, 22 and 16, okay. but his speed and technique are not up to par with what the other guys are at. A lot of these guys, Levin, you saw, was already at 19 and 19, and this was like a 19 and 18, but the shot and the power have remained roughly the same. So you can still be a capable-ish shooter, but you know, you gotta have stuff to put him in an advantageous position. And the thing is that I don't have ways of really powering up European players the way that I have to power up Latin American players and what's his face, Japanese players. So especially because I don't have that Mateo card, that infamous Mateo card that gives automatic 5% boost to Euros. So you know, I miss out on that. So it makes it very hard for me to play in that direction. As tempting as these cards are, I'm probably not gonna pull. And here's the thing. So we got 17, 20, and 17, 17, 18, and 17, and he's a little bit better than 11 defensively. Slightly less here, slightly less here. Then he has, but he gets an easy boost right here, and it's 20% as opposed to 10 that Levin gets. Dribble range enhance, okay, times 5, but he doesn't block. A skill, so. High ball request at 80. Support Pierre 40% only. That's crazy. 10% only. Stamina killer. Only one. What? Only one skill block cancel instead of 2? That's crazy, Shake. That's crazy. Okay. Napoleon. I guess if you need a green shooter, if you don't have a Santana, but remember, this is not a true comparison. That's what I hate, because I have, and that's the thing, I already have Santana at BB8, homie. BB8. Why am I gonna pull for this guy trying to get resources to use them? You know what I'm saying? I need red cards, not green ones, and I don't need Napoleon to use my Pierre. So if you don't have Santana, go ahead, pull here. But you need to have a way of being able to boost up European players, because that's how the game is being played right now. Now this Hino, I'm so mad because I pulled for him and I didn't get him. And in my anger and whatever, I forgot to purchase the whole reason why I wanted him is so because I had the Hyuga, and I love that, again, skills that are never used, like the Dragon Tiger 1-2 is a thing of beauty. It's an amazing skill, but this Hino wouldn't come to me, and I didn't buy the damn skill. So if all of a sudden I pull here and I get this stinking card, I'm gonna be so upset, dude. I'll be so upset. I'll be happy, but I'll be upset. You know, he's good right here. See, even better than Napoleon. Napo was at 17, 18, 17. He's better than Napoleon here, but not better in shooting. The power slightly better, you know, so it balances out. He's a little bit weaker defensively too. But he has this 20%. That's cute. Stamina killer, and then pressure. And part of the reason why I wanted Hino at the time was, aside from the 1-2, I have all kinds of stuff to do with Hino. I have all these skills. I have more than available cards to bring him up to BB8, but I can never get a freaking Hino at the time that he's usable. I always get him way later, for free even, and that upsets me a lot. So, you know, it's a good banner, especially too because these two are somewhat usable. They could fit into your team. In terms of inspiring and stuff like that, remember they got a rework, so they got a little bit stronger. I'm gonna have to take a pause right here before I pull, because my throat is starting to get all dry because of all that I've been doing for like 30 minutes already. Oh man, 30 minutes this segment. That's not even counting the 17 when I start talking about life. Oh my goodness. Okay, so here we go. This one trips me out though. You see, look at that power at 18 and the shot at 21. So I'm curious about, nobody talks about this Raul being a shooter, but how capable is he of a shooter? Because this guy is definitely not capable of shooting. But the good thing then is with this guy, or even with the Raul, if you're not going to intend to make him a shooter, then you could just leave him at BB6. You don't need him at BB8. And I think even Napoleon and Hino, it's kind of like questionable whether you want to do BB8 or BB6, depending on what you have available, just because their defense is not as great. You see, these guys stronger. And I think even the Raul is a little bit stronger as well. 12 and 13. What were these guys at? 14 and 13. Okay, just slightly higher. and then 12 and 11. You see, so slightly lower. So they're still usable. It's a good banner. But unfortunately, this one for the Levin lovers get screwed with this one. This is a terrible slot. I don't know why they picked this one. They should have put something else. Now, if they're gonna rework him, okay, but if not, terrible. Don't go. I'll be back and we'll get to some posts.